Hi friends, welcome to my YouTube channel Rishabh Study Group and I am Rishabh with you. Friends, today we will learn the NCERT Science Book Chapter 8 Motion. Friends, let's make this topic interesting. What is motion exactly? Motion है क्या? Actually friends, any object which is in our universe shows only two phases. One phase is of rest and the second phase is of motion. इस यूनिवर्स में कोई भी ऑब्जेक्ट सिर्फ टू ही फेज शो करता है, या तो वो रेस्ट में होगा या वो मोशन करेगा. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, नाउ यू आर सिटिंग ऑन द चेयर एंड वॉचिंग माई वीडियोज. You are said to be as doing rest, but meanwhile your blood are flowing through your veins and arteries and reaches to your heart. Then your heart is pumping. In air, birds are flying. In water, fishes are swimming. So these shows that they are doing motion. So कोई भी ऑब्जेक्ट सिर्फ इन्हीं टू फेज को शो करता है, या तो वो मोशन कर रहा होगा और अगर वो मोशन नहीं कर रहा होगा तो वो रेस्ट कर रहा होगा. So these are the two phases. So before understanding motion, let's understand some important points related to motion. If you will understand those points, you can easily understand the topic of motion. So those points are distance, displacement, uniform motion, non-uniform motion, speed and velocity, and etc. There are some more important points related to motion, but in this video we will cover up these important points. So first of all, let's understand what is distance. So let's understand distance first. Actually friends, कोई भी अगर ऑब्जेक्ट अपना मोशन कर रहा है, so it means it changes its initial position and reach to the final position. कोई भी ऑब्जेक्ट इनिशियल पोजीशन छोड़ के अपने किसी फाइनल पोजीशन तक पहुंचेगा अगर वो मोशन कर रहा है तो. देन इफ एन ऑब्जेक्ट डूइंग दिस मोशन, इट आल्सो प्रोवाइड अस अ सर्टेन डिस्टेंस. अगर कोई ऑब्जेक्ट मोशन कर रहा है तो वो ऑब्वियसली हमें एक डिस्टेंस प्रोवाइड करता है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, अगर कोई ऑब्जेक्ट है और वो मोशन किया, ये उसका इनिशियल पॉइंट था और यहाँ उसका फाइनल पोजीशन हो गया. मीन्स इनिशियल पोजीशन से वो चला और फाइनल पोजीशन तक वो पहुंच गया. So here you can see that it provides us a certain distance of, for example, 10 meter. 10 meter का distance provide कर दिया इस object ने. Now, if an object is providing distance, so what is distance actually? Let's understand it by an example. Here is an object which is on initial position, which name is O. O is का initial position. Then it starts its motion and reaches to point A. A तक पहुंचा वो motion करके, which is the distance of 10 meter. 10 meter cover up here. Now it reaches to point B, which is of again 10 meter. Then it reaches to point C here. Then it reaches to point D here. And this distance is of 5 meter suppose, and this meter is of 3. ये 3 meter distance यहाँ cover हुआ, यहाँ 5 meter distance. Now if the question asks that what is the total distance covered by an object, इस ऑब्जेक्ट के थ्रू टोटल डिस्टेंस कितना कवर अप हुआ, तो आप देख सकते हैं हर एक टर्न पे उसने एक डिस्टेंस कवर किया है. फर्स्ट 10 मीटर, देन 10 मीटर, देन 3 मीटर, 5 मीटर. सो इफ द क्वेश्चन आस्क्स दैट टेल द टोटल डिस्टेंस, इट मींस यू हैव टू ऐड ऑल द टर्न्स टेकन बाय एन ऑब्जेक्ट. ऑब्जेक्ट के थ्रू जितने भी टर्न्स लिए गए हैं और जितने भी टोटल डिस्टेंस की गई है उसको हमें ऐड अप करना होगा. So here you can see that what is the total distance of an object. So here 28 meter. 28 meter is the total distance covered by an object here. You can see. So in distance, direction never matters. यहाँ हमें किसी डायरेक्शन की जरूरत नहीं पड़ी, हमने सीधा एड अप करते चले गए. जितनी बार उसने एक टर्न लिया, जैसे एक A पे टर्न लिया उसने, फिर एक B पे टर्न लिया, हर एक टर्न पे उसका एक डिस्टेंस उसने कवर अप किया. एंड वी हैव टू कैलकुलेट दोज ऑल टर्न्स डिस्टेंस. उन ऑल टर्न्स पे जितने भी डिस्टेंस कवर अप किया गया है ऑब्जेक्ट के थ्रू, हमें बस उसको ऐड अप कर देना है. डायरेक्शन नेवर मैटर्स इन डिस्टेंस. आई होप यू हैव अंडरस्टैंड द डिस्टेंस. लेट्स अंडरस्टैंड द डिस्प्लेसमेंट. एक्चुअली फ्रेंड्स, इफ एन ऑब्जेक्ट is doing motion, it provides us a distance, but meanwhile it also provides us a displacement. अगर कोई ऑब्जेक्ट मोशन कर रहा है तो वो डिस्टेंस के साथ साथ हमें डिस्प्लेसमेंट भी दे देता है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, व्हाट इज द डिस्प्लेसमेंट? एक्चुअली फ्रेंड्स, displacement is the shortest part between the initial position and the final position. So here you can see I have said that O is the initial position of an object, and here you can see D is the final position of an object. D is the final position of an object. Now what is the displacement? So I have said the shortest path between initial position and the final position. Actually this is also the path, but it is too big. So this is the shortest path between initial position and the final position. This should be the displacement of an object. So suppose this displacement is of 4 meter. So here the 4 meter should be the displacement of an object, because this is the shortest path between the initial position and the final position. So here we have also done the distance and displacement, and I hope you have understand the concept of distance and displacement. And in displacement, direction matters, that in which direction is the final position from the initial position. Initial position के किस डायरेक्शन में लाई कर रहा है फाइनल पोजीशन. सो यहाँ हमें एक स्ट्रेट पाथ ही मिलता है जो कि हमें एक डायरेक्शन शो करता है कि इस डायरेक्शन में. सो इन डिस्प्लेसमेंट डायरेक्शन मैटर्स एंड इन डिस्टेंस डायरेक्शन नेवर मैटर्स. So I hope you have understand the topic of distance and displacement. Now let's move to our third important point, which is uniform motion. Actually this is very important topic and very interesting. Actually an object have only two choices if it is doing motion. अगर कोई ऑब्जेक्ट मोशन कर रहा है तो उसके पास सिर्फ टू ऑप्शंस होंगे किसी मोशन को फॉलो करने के लिए. One option is to follow the rule of uniform motion and the second option is to follow the rule of non-uniform motion. या तो वो uniform motion को follow करेगा या वो non-uniform motion को follow करेगा. So let's understand what is uniform motion exactly. Actually friends, uniform motion is the motion in which an object completes a same distance in same interval of time. अगर कोई ऑब्जेक्ट है और वो सेम डिस्टेंस एक पर्टिकुलर सेम टाइम में कवर अप कर रहा है तो वो यूनिफॉर्म मोशन कहलाता है. फॉर एग्जांपल, this is the particular distance of 20 meter and an object covers 5 meter, first 5 meter in 5 seconds, then again it covers 5 meter in 5 seconds, then again it covers 5 meter in again 5 seconds, then again it covers 5 meter in 5 seconds. So friends, here you can see the pattern of the motion. यहाँ an object covering the same distance in a same interval of time. एक object है वो same distance जो है वो same interval of time में cover up कर रहा है. So it means this motion is following the rules of uniform motion. So this is the example of a uniform motion. Now let's see the uniform motion on another example. Let's do it. For example, this is the particular distance of 10 kilometer. Okay friends. Now an object is covering 10 km on a constant speed which is of 20 km per hour. एक ऑब्जेक्ट इस 10 किलोमीटर डिस्टेंस को 20 किलोमीटर पर आवर की स्पीड से फॉलो कर रहा है, एक कांस्टेंट स्पीड. ये टोटल जर्नी उसने इसी स्पीड पे कवर अप किया है. सो हियर अनदर डेफिनेशन ऑफ यूनिफॉर्म मोशन इज इफ एन ऑब्जेक्ट इज कवरिंग द पर्टिकुलर डिस्टेंस ऑन अ कांस्टेंट स्पीड, इट इज आल्सो नोन एज द यूनिफॉर्म मोशन. यहाँ ये भी एक यूनिफॉर्म मोशन शो कर रहा है. So now let's understand the non-uniform motion. Actually, non-uniform motion is a motion in which an object don't covers a particular distance on a same interval of time. किसी particular distance को कोई object अगर ना cover करे किसी same interval of time पे तो वो obviously non-uniform motion हो जाता है. For example, here this is the particular distance. An object is covering this distance which is of 10 kilometer. 10 किलोमीटर का एक डिस्टेंस है पर्टिकुलर जिसको एक ऑब्जेक्ट कवर अप कर रहा है. एन ऑब्जेक्ट कवर्स फर्स्ट 5 किलोमीटर इन 5 किलोमीटर पर आवर स्पीड, देन द रेस्ट 5 किलोमीटर इट कवर्स इन 3 किलोमीटर पर आवर स्पीड. सो हियर यू कैन सी दैट द स्पीड इज नॉट कांस्टेंट. दिस एग्जांपल इज फॉलोइंग द रूल्स ऑफ नॉन यूनिफॉर्म मोशन. सो आई होप यू हैव अंडरस्टैंड द कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ नॉन यूनिफॉर्म मोशन एंड यूनिफॉर्म मोशन, एंड यू शुड आल्सो नो टू डिफरेंशिएट इट फ्रॉम द यूनिफॉर्म मोशन. As in uniform motion, the speed should be constant to complete a particular distance and an object covers the same distance in same interval of time. But in non-uniform motion, it doesn't happen. An object covers different distance in a different interval of times and the speed is not constant in non-uniform motion. So now you can differentiate non-uniform motion from the uniform motion. Now let's move to our next topic, which is speed. Now let's see the speed, another important topic. Actually, what is speed? So speed is the calculation in which we find the total distance covered by an object in a particular time. For example, an object is covering this particular distance of 20 km in the speed of 10 km per hour. एक ऑब्जेक्ट है, सपोज कीजिए कि वो 20 किलोमीटर डिस्टेंस को 10 किलोमीटर पर आवर की स्पीड से कवर अप कर रहा है. सो एक स्पीड एक ऑब्जेक्ट को ऐसा फीचर प्रोवाइड करती है जिससे वी कैन इजीली फाइंड द टाइम, दैट हाउ मच टाइम इज टेकन बाय एन ऑब्जेक्ट टू कंप्लीट दिस total distance. So here you can see that an object has the capability to complete 10 km in 1 hour. Then another 10 km it will again cover in 1 hour. So here you can see that it will cover 20 km in 2 hours. How can you find it? Now you have find it by doing this method. As you have divided 20 km by the speed, you will get 2 hours. 2 hour is the time taken by an object to complete this particular distance. Now अब हम इसको एक फॉर्मूला बना लेते हैं. As what you have done, you have just find the time, just denote it by t, and you have divided the distance by the speed. You have divided this. Okay, now put the values. So t is equal to distance. What distance is this? 20 kilometer. 20 kilometer upon what is the speed of an object? So speed is 10 kilometer per hour. Okay, it means that here hour is under the 10 kilometer. Suppose this. Now kilometer से kilometer कट जाएगा and here 2 will left. This hour will come on top. You will get t is equal to 2 hour. This proves that this formula is suitable. Now by this formula you can derive the formula of speed as s is equal to distance upon time. Here you can find the speed also. So I hope you have understand the speed. Now friends, I have also noticed in several students as they get confused on several points of speed. As you know that there are many measurements to calculate the speed. For example, if we are covering the long distance, we will calculate the speed in kilometer per hour. In kilometer per hour. And if we are covering some short distance, then it will measure in meter per second. Then if we are covering some smallest distance, so it can measure in centimeter per second. So friends, don't get confused. First of all, you have to notice the question, that what is question asking, question पूछ क्या रहा है, and what is given in the question. अगर आपको डिस्टेंस दिया है किलोमीटर में और टाइम जो है आपका सेकंड में है, so you have to first pair it. आपको उसको पेयर करना पड़ेगा. You have to just convert the second into hours. Then you can easily solve your question by this formula. So by doing this, you can easily find the speed. The one thing is to notice the question and notice the measurements pair. आपको उन पेयर्स को नोटिस करना पड़ेगा. अगर वो मैच कर रहा है, so it is good, you can solve the question as it is. If it is not matching, you have to match it. So I hope you have understand the concept of speed. Now let's understand the velocity. Actually friends, velocity and speed are the correlated points of motion. There are some little bit difference in velocity. As in velocity, it follows the principle of displacement. Actually होता क्या है, अगर हमें speed पूछा है, so we have given the distance, हमें distance दिया गया होगा, और if we have asked to find the velocity, there we have given the displacement, उधर हमें displacement दिया गया होगा, उन displacement को हमें उसका velocity निकालना है, and the formula is same as velocity is equal to displacement upon time. So the formula is same, just little bit difference is of distance and displacement. Here the displacement is given and in speed distance is given. Here this is distance and this is displacement. So I hope you have understand the difference between velocity and speed. So friends, now next important points I will cover in our later on videos. Thanks for watching my video.